Welcome to the Drastic Results with Tony Harris Taylor show.
To go to another level, you must try to learn and hear something new. So make the change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Drastic Results, yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Tony Harris Taylor. Drastic Results, oh yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Yeah.
Welcome to the Drastic Results with Tony Harris Taylor show. And I am Tony Harris Taylor. You see it? You see it? It's over there. You can read it. I am happy to have you here today. And I today want to talk about the importance of staying connected to your clients. But before I get into that, I want to congratulate my client, Day Smith, for pulling off her very first event. You heard from Day last week, and she told you all she tried 20 times in her head to cancel the event. Lord knows I know that feeling. But she kept pushing, took the drastic step, and had a beautiful, beautiful event. So shout out to my girl, Day. Today, we're going to hear from our guest, Ms. Vick of Vick Copywriting. She's actually a multipreneur, and we'll introduce what else she has going on as well. But the reason I brought Val is because we're going to have a conversation about the importance of staying connected to your audience. So statistics says 2 to 3% of people want to do business with you the moment they meet you. That means 97% are not ready yet. Doesn't mean they won't be ready in the future. And so the question is, what are you doing to stay connected to your audience so that when they are ready, you are in front of them? What I know for sure is that if you don't make the drastic effort to stay in front of them, they will forget about you. And it's not up to them to remember you. How many times have we put our business card in someone's hand and they forget about you when they're ready to buy, and they end up buying from the person that's in front of them the moment that they're ready? So we're going to talk about how to stay connected using copy. We're also going to talk about using copy on your website to convert your people to discovery sessions, to paid clients, to buying your products and services. So copywriting and what you say is so important to attract your ideal client. And so we're going to meet Val, and we're going to hear from her why she is the one you should hire to help you stay connected to the 97% who are not ready yet. When we come back, we'll hear from my client and friend, Val Vick.
I decided to start this. Everyone told me I was crazy. You're going to bootstrap, a little Uber endeavor against Yellow Cab. And I said, yeah, I am. We're going to do it one member at a time, one person at a time.
I love our tagline. Our mission statement is building relationships that are going to last a lifetime.
It's not about what you can get. It's about helping enough people get what they want, and they will give you what you want. That's why our guarantee is so brilliant.
So, there's definitely profit I'm making, and there's definitely, something I'm making out of this, but it's still, everyone wants to help each other, to just help each other grow.
If I ever get tired of helping people, then shame on me.
I feel in my heart we're going to hit a home run. I really feel like this is going to be a multinational company in short order. And in our last business, we had always talked about starting a foundation someday. So I told my wife, I said, we're going to do it backwards this time. We're going to start the giving part first. And so if you think about it, at the core of building relationships is what's in your heart. And so we look for that in our members. And that makes us fundamentally different than other organizations that just take a check.
And it makes me super happy that I'm going to have an impact on somebody, professional, personal, whatever it is.
So that's the beauty in Network in Action. I wake up every day and all I have to do is stay focused on helping people.
Well, I love that commercial because that's what we are all about. Network in Action's all about helping people. And so let's hear from one of our Network in Action members and Drastic Results coaching clients, Mrs. Val Vick of Val Vick Content and Copywriting. Welcome, Val.
Hey, Tony. Thanks for having me today. I'm so excited to be here, and I love NIA. This is my starting my third year.
Yes. So thank you so much for being committed to growing your business with our family. So, in your words, I've already set you up, but in your words, who are you and what do you do?
All right, I'm Val Vick with Val Vick Content and Copywriting, and what I do is I help clients use their brand voice, search engine optimization, and user experience, also known as UX, copy, to attract, engage, convert, and retain their ideal clients.
Yeah. So, brand voice. Can you elaborate on what that means?
Okay, brand voice. You know how when you see something or hear something, even if you don't see the person or see their name, you know right off. You're like, oh, that sounds just like Tony Harris Taylor, or oh, that sounds just like Val Vick. I mean, it's one of those things where people recognize who you are, even if they don't see you or know it's you. It's kind of like with Chick-fil-A. You know when you hear somebody talking about the service they got at a fast food, it's one of the first companies you think of is Chick-fil-A. So the brand voice is what differentiates you from other people who do what you do, because no one else can sound like you.
Yeah. So, you've done a great job. I used to think that Val was stalking me and she was, because I'm her client as well, but I realized she was everywhere I was because she was capturing my sound.
Yeah.
Not my literal sound, but the little things I say, my innuendos, the word drastic. So she was always showing up to hear me so that when she wrote my copy, she would sound just like me. And in fact, Val, I was listening to someone say on a call last week, she keeps hiring people, but they just don't sound like me, she said. I said, I got somebody you need to meet.
I love it. I love it. And you know what's interesting that I realized recently something happened where I was looking at something that was printed or posted on social media, I think by a client. And so I said something. I mean, I used some of that. And then she's like, I don't say that. Or I don't sound like that. I'm like, yeah, you actually posted that. So, but let's change it. And that's why I prefer to listen to you, because people don't realize what they say sometimes, but when they post something, and that's my biggest beef. I mean, and I don't have a beef. Let's be honest. I don't have a beef with Jasper AI or anything else that people are using, templates. But if you don't make it sound like you, you end up posting stuff that does not sound like you, and you go back later and like, oh, why did I post that, or why did I write that? Because you were not inserting your brand voice. It's important.
Yeah. Well, you are an expert. And in fact, in our coaching, we learned about the market dominating position. And yours is, I will make your copy sound like you. And then if I don't, I'm going to keep doing it until I do.
Yes.
And you're a master at that. And I appreciate that. But some people, even me, and you're my client, I'm your client. I thought I wrote pretty good till I met you, and so you have a way with words. And why is it important that someone who even thinks they write okay to have another party do it for them?
Tony, I think, and you do write really well, and you make it very easy for me when you've already written something and you just need me to take a look at it. I think what happens is we're so close to it when we do it ourselves. Because I even find when I write for myself, it's good for me to have somebody take a look at it, because it's and I do think also my user experience, UX copywriting training helps me because I am primed to put myself in your client's position. And so I'm reading it as, is there anything in here that's confusing? Anything in here that is would hinder me from continuing to read what's written or to take action? Because ultimately, all we want is we really do want people to take action. And so that's one of the things that my mind is like already, like I said, primed to look for. So I think that's one of the things. Because not even other copywriters who aren't really trained like I am will pick up on certain things. So my training has made a difference. I know that.
So again, we sometimes are too close to our own material to see and hear it from a third party's view.
Yes,
so
right.
That's why you want someone like Val to take a look at your copy. So Val, who is your target market? We've worked a lot on this and you are crystal clear who is and who is not. So who is your target market?
Yes, it's been a journey too, and I appreciate your help because I was like everyone else you start working with typically who says, I can help everybody. What I do, everybody needs. And that's not that's true possibly, but it may not be your ideal client. So my ideal client at this point, I recognize, are actually I have two buckets. And I'm working on launching with your help this first quarter, a program for a community for new entrepreneurs, solopreneurs who are just starting, and they really need some help, really understanding how to communicate and get their message out there. But my ideal client, apart from them, are going to be medium-sized companies who've been in business for at least a year, 6 months to a year or more. And they're very clear on who their target audience is. And they're getting results, but they know they're ready to go to the next level. And so I can position them and help them with their content marketing strategy and implementation to do that. And what's interesting is I've found is that e-commerce clients are even better matches for me in some cases than some of the service clients, because the user experience, the UX, is the key for people actually making purchases of products. And I stand out in that area. It's been very exciting to recognize and see the results.
Well, I see your results because you are working with a jewelry line, a purse line,
and it's actually a leather line, not just purses. She has belts and dresses and coats and luggage and so the Val brand is doing very well. I'm so excited for her.
Yeah, that's another story for another day. Maybe we'll tell it on the second half because we're going to talk about your marketing strategy. But you also have multiple businesses. So let's talk real quickly about your travel business. So you are an expert travel agent, but you're also very particular who you work with in travel. So tell us about that.
Yes. And, and that's evolved also, like most businesses, because I've been doing the travel business since before 2007. I think I started around 2006. But my focus is groups and even more niche down in terms of groups is really the family reunions, the weddings, the coaches who have retreats, most affinity groups. I actually had a Renew Our Vows group last year that went to St. Lucia, and there were about 40, 50 of them, and they had a wonderful time. But it's one of those, the reason we're together. So that's the affinity. I focus on affinity groups, and the group that the coaches that have retreats is a new one for me, but I'm excited about that. And then the other group I work with are people who travel with people who have accessibility issues or they're disabled. My mom, I'm taking her on a cruise April 1st, and she's wheelchair bound. She has to have very specific support. And I'm excited because she's excited, and she's actually going to go online and have interviews with. I'm going to interview her about her experience of being wheelchair bound and wanting to not, have her life. She's like, I'm not ready for my life to stop just because
Right.
I'm in a wheelchair.
Right.
And so I'm excited about really going forward in that travel market for those with accessibility issues.
I love that. And that just came out of us having a general conversation about you telling me you were taking your mom on a trip. I'm like, Val, that's another target market. And she's like,
Yeah.
and here we are talking about it. So when we come back after the next break, we're going to talk about what can an entrepreneur do to stay connected to that 97% who aren't ready yet. So we'll be right back.
Are you a busy business owner that feels invisible and you are not making the money you deserve? My name is Tony Harris Taylor with Drastic Results Coaching. I'm a leading marketing and sales coach who teaches service-based entrepreneurs how to magnetically attract their ideal clients to make more money now. If you are ready to get drastic results in your business, contact Tony at 713-387-9273. Remember, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow.
All right, we're back with Mrs. Val Vick of Val Vick Content and Copywriting. And so in the monologue, I talked about how only 3% of people are typically ready to do business with you the moment they meet you. So what is it that an entrepreneur can do to stay connected to the 97% using copywriting?
Great question, Tony. And it's interesting that social media is really a big one. We all know that. And that's what most people think the only asset they have. And I am very excited to share with entrepreneurs that, that's what we call a shared asset with like Facebook or Instagram. You want your owned assets too. And the way, one of the biggest ones is email. Now, some people think email is dead, but it's not. It's still one of the best opportunities to stay in front of your clients. And you just need to learn how to make sure you're doing email the right way so that you do keep your open rates, in the 30 to 40% range, which is high. A lot of people complain about low open rates. I think also from a retention standpoint, and actually newsletters are even better than they do more than retention. They help with conversion. They help with actually leads when your people are forwarding the newsletter. And so I think that email newsletters, text messaging is huge, but you have to be careful with that too, because you'll get to that point where people won't open your text messages. So you need to do it the right way. And when I say the right way, is basically not turning people off so that they stop opening your text in your emails. And there are other assets. People don't really take advantage of case studies or expanded testimonials, like they could. So there are so many assets, and of course, video. Just lots of ways to stay connected. But it does take discipline, and I recommend a content calendar where you are clearly scheduling what you're doing to stay connected with your ideal market.
And you're going to have a content planner coming out soon. So.
Yes, I'm excited about that. You were my inspiration on that, of course. Tony is the best coach, bar none, y'all. I don't know who's watching, but if you need a business coach, she is the person, because she'll make you start thinking about things you hadn't thought about. I mean, I never thought about having merchandise, but oh my gosh, my coach is like, I'm doing it. You need to do it too. So
absolutely. That's why my clients love me, is because I just go one step ahead. Okay, I'm doing this. Y'all come on. Right? I'm done. Y'all come on. So on that note, a marketing and networking planner will be released February 1st of this year. And so
Woo-hoo.
I'm
Hey.
always releasing something. That's a special day for me. So.
I'm ready to pre-order. Okay.
Oh, yay. So, okay, let's talk about marketing for a minute. What's
Okay.
the primary way you market your business?
Networking is the primary way I market, because I am I model it after myself. I don't do business with people that I don't know, like, and trust. I just, very few things will I buy without knowing. Like, actually, I was going to say I might buy some toilet paper, but no, I know, like, and trust Charmin and, the people I use. So, but it's networking and referrals. Those are my primary ways. In the travel business in particular, there's so many people who scam travel agents. They will do a thing with the credit cards, and then you end up having the chargebacks, and the credit card companies come after you. So I don't do business with strangers with travel, for example. And with content and copywriting, I don't do business without a referral pretty much for that either, because again, it's one of those things where, that's my creative, when I use my creative efforts, and then, I'm trying to think of how to say it without coming off like rude. But you just have to be
say
careful.
it, girl. Just say
you have to be careful who you work with, because there are crooks out there.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I know. And you only have to, I got burned one time and I had to give money to American Express. Girl, I was like, okay, you never see me do that again. So yeah, I'm very particular about who I work with. And so it's mainly networking and referrals. I don't do, cold calls. I don't do blind ads. No, it's all about the networking and the referrals.
Awesome. Thank you. So this is to wrap up our conversation, and thank you so much for your time. But what's the biggest drastic step that you have taken in your business?
Hiring a coach.
Yeah.
That was drastic for me.
Yeah.
Because good coaches cost, and you always think, okay, so I could use that money to do what else? It's kind of like your time. You know how you can say, what else could I be doing with my time? It's like, what else could I be doing with my money? And for me, hiring a coach was drastic, and I'm glad I did.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, Val, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, so I'd love to have one-to-one conversations. Please, it's very simple. Go to meetwithval.com/Zoom and get on my calendar, and let's have a conversation. You never know where it will lead. And if nothing else, we can learn about each other. And I'm always very generous. I can give you some tips if you need some for whatever you're doing. And then or text me 281-757-3057. I will respond immediately.
All right. It's scrolling across the screen, meetwithval.com/Zoom. The other thing about Val is because she's a connector as well. All my community becomes connectors, is when she hears who you are and what you do, she's going to open a door for you didn't know existed. So it's worth your time just to get to know Val, because she's amazing. And don't forget the travel business. If you want to do group travel, in fact, we're already thinking about the next coaching retreat is going to be probably a cruise, because I'm not trying to do the cooking things.
I love it.
We're going to have a good time. Well, Val, thank you so much. We appreciate you for your time, and we look forward to watching you continue to flourish and grow. And I can't wait for that content planner to come out. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying, thank you, Val. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and we will remove Val, and I got a few more words to say to you. Thank you so much. So Val is amazing. Please follow up with her. She is awesome, and she will sound just like you. I just wanted to give you some encouragement. You know, as I said at the outset of the video, that Day did a wonderful job having her event. And Val did her content, by the way. And Val had a lot of conversations with Day leading up to the event. And it's just so important that you have community. Because one of the things that Val said was, yep, she tried to quit. And I kept saying, girl, you can't quit. You got to keep going. And it turned out perfectly. So having community around you as an entrepreneur is everything. If you don't have a community, check out Network in Action. Contact me, get on my calendar, meet with TonyHarrisTaylor.com, and let's just talk, because probably 70% of the people that were at Day's event what came through networking. And so we become like family and supportive. It was amazing. So I want to thank you all for watching another episode of the Drastic Results with Tony Harris Taylor show. My name is Tony Harris Taylor, saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. We'll see you next week. Bye.
With Tony Harris Taylor.